output from him has just been unbelievable. We head over to Fortress of Lions for Grand Finals, game number 1. Very curious to see long platform again. A lot of offstage potential here. If I'm Fixel, do I want to go for the anti-heavy strat wall and play off stage against Marker?
It could be, yeah. I feel like from what we saw in the upper finals set, it was a lot of catching landings too, which is where Marker was just totally excelling. Okay, this is Sweatbeats. That was a crazy aggressive play. He's gonna get reversal off this? There's no way. Okay.
Yeah, Fixel, unfortunately, again, players are playing very carefully up against them. They know the Scythe could have had that DI input and just make things very tough for those revenge runs. But catching the landing once again, and light is out. Fixel gets back on stage. Not so much yet. A big boxing match once more. Shades of upper finals again, while really no changes the same exact way, man.
It's landings every time, man. You see this, right? Like, Fixel is just like, holy moly, the floor is lava. Everywhere I go, there's a signature looking at me, and it's Markers. I keep losing stocks from it.
I mean, what is the response now? Because it's been the same signatures each time from Marker's side. Fixel has to find a way to gain that space, and Gauntlets are not going to do it. I need to see more of this Scythe, dude.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if it's like maybe you're just going a little bit too aggressive, not just true resetting into neutral in certain positions. I'm gonna watch a little bit more closely now from Marker's POV on how he's landing so many of these signatures, because it is resulting in a lot of damage and a lot of stocks.
I mean, I think the case in point is that Fixel's just an aggressive player. He doesn't like to reset neutral. He likes to keep re-engaging, find a new alternative angle just to, you mentioned it way back against, I think it was Heavy, just overwhelm your opponent. And Marker is not falling for that mental.
Oh, okay, off stage. This is weapon toss just to cover your back, so we do see the situation reverse for a moment. Nair will make it a 3-piece, can't quite connect with the second. Okay, that one worked out, just facing the wrong way.
There we go, weapon throw into the extension. Fixel absolutely needs whatever damage he can get, even if it's chip. Okay, there we go, that's huge, that's huge! Oh no! Oh no! A very rare misinput from Fixel.
I was gonna say the chase dodge up from Fixel allows you to just cover so much space on the offstage, but you burn so much of your movement. So what an unfortunate situation to Sweatbead right under the edge of Small Fortress. Lose a stock a lot earlier than you expected to.
Surely the idea of Fixel was thinking like, okay, if I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. But Marker just had the perfect input to stay afloat.
Okay, back on stage now. I mean, this was kind of a gift from Marker. It was a very close match. This could be equalized with a recovery. We do find it.
73 damage, though, applied to Fixel. It's not nothing, but it's not a whole lot of damage either. Marker can easily capitalize and make this back up, but he's going to have to grab a weapon quick. Does get Gauntlets once more. Has been a dominant weapon, forcing Fixel to play on a very rare, again, back heel where he wants to re-engage, but the consistent punishment from Marker has been astounding.
Oh, just a Nair as a party starter. Isn't even going to be that much. Okay, ground pound. Tries to get a second, not gonna happen. Oh, gonna be a ground pound of his own, but the false fall underneath. There's no way.
Fixel's playing this so scary, but he's been able to catch up and damage 140 now on Marker. This is his chance to bring it back home. Remember, Fixel not only has to win this series, but has to go for a bracket reset and take it back over against Marker again. Recovery is out. Fixel is changing history. Gets game 1.
Wow, I am shocked that Fixel pulled that one out of the bag. I really thought game 1 was Marker's for sure, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, explain yourself.
I look, like, you throw that stock away kind of earlier than you want, right? And it's like, don't look at me like that. I don't want to be perceived by you like this. Well, like, come on, man. It's like
we're besties, though.
Like so much momentum. We are besties. You're right.
No, I completely agree, man.
The back half of that game, we really didn't see the signatures catching landings in the way that we pointed it out for the first stock, right? And then also for the upper bracket set, it was kind of the difference maker for Marker winning this set. So maybe Fixel figured something out. Maybe Marker was a little bit more hesitant to pull the trigger on that one. Who can say? But you just got to go next.
I mean, I don't want to have just like a boiled down analysis, right? But it really feels like it's just the Scythe now. Fixel's been moving away from Gauntlets. He has at least a little bit more range to work off of. Scythe is historically a unforgiving punish tool, especially with an up-close legend like Tezca. But then Fixel throws it away, man. That's what worries me about the most about his matchup.
So I do think that the gauntlets are securing most of the stocks. But the scythe, you're correct. Like the range advantage that you're getting, the offstage making this a little bit more scrappy. I think it's super important, right? So maybe we get a little bit more of an even balance between these two weapons for Fixel to kind of keep up this momentum. But it's going to happen on second stock.
I will say, though, that the scythe will force Marker to condition off stage. Not that he has much of a choice in the matter, but the gauntlets do have a lot more options when it comes to KO ability, especially for aerial, which Fixel loves to do. It's just finding those openings for consistency has been a struggle for Fixel in this matchup. Recovery was out, though. Marker resets neutral once again. Fixel playing a much more patient game, catching the landing off of Marker once more. Tries to go maybe for a signature startup, but again, battle boots, dude. They're just in your face, and they are chipping away everything that you have.
Yeah, and the side switch was just real clean from Marker. Gets a good amount of damage on the way out, and we do even this one back up at 2 stocks apiece. But I mean, we're following the same song and dance as before, man. It's like slightly lead to Marker, and let's see if the game can just blow wide open at a certain point.
It is the same beats. I love this ballet between the two. I'm expecting the tango to switch up and to be more offstage central at a certain point, especially with Fixel down 140 damage. You need to pull something out cheeky.
Sure. Okay, GC gets the party started. We push this one off stage. There is no disarm, importantly, which means you have the weapon toss available to you. There's the disarm now, and the recovery closes the door on that one real clean.
Full stock lead now. The reset of the neutral, Fixel playing more patiently has not been working for him. We need to see now offstage play from Fixel to try to mitigate this, bring it back up. Sweat beads are out. Fixel on the ledge guard could work out well. Marker struggling to find a way back forwards. Had that recovery connected, we could have been looking at an even game.
Okay, weapon toss swaps over to the gauntlets Nair. I think you're just looking for Nair into like burn dodge, try to get like sidelight into recovery again, because again, the upper bracket match, it was a lot of dodges from Marker that were just not being accounted for with the recoveries, but now Marker's kind of giving the punish to Fixel a little bit more, at least with the gauntlets.
Yeah, it feels like the gauntlet games have gone swung heavy from upper finals into Fixel's favor. Marker does it again. Overwhelmingly now in the Marker's favor. It has just been an absolute turnaround. Fixel's running out of options, man. I was gonna say I think maybe we'll see a legend swap coming into this, but no, maintaining the Mordex yet again. There's no time replay, guy. We're going straight into the next game.
Yeah, I mean, Marker's gauntlets are just something else right now from what we've seen in these two sets. Like the amount of damage they're dealing, the offstage pressure they're conducting, it's just so strong top to bottom, right? Like, and maybe you're getting some good matchups. Maybe Fixel is giving you some good positioning, but I mean, it does come down to the player too, and Marker's really executing.
I'm just really curious now to see what Fixel has up his sleeve. The offstage play looks promising at the very least, but Marco keeps getting these very upper elevated recoveries that Fixel just cannot reach.
Okay, so this is what you pointed out before. I mean, the Scythe offstage game is nothing to sneeze at, right? But it's like, how is Fixel closing out these stocks?
There it is, that upper recovery. Fixel needs to find an answer to that, dude.
Oh, baby drip. No way Marker's counter hitting there, especially with the sweat beads on. You are a madman.
Yeah, Marker has absolutely no fear right now. Fixel clean first stock.
Yeah, this is a bit of a different note that we're seeing in this song, right? Like, a lot of the first two games were like Marker maintaining a gentle lead all the way through. This time, it's a pretty healthy stock advantage in favor of Fixel.
I'm wondering too if that was, I believe Marker started off with battle boots. I think here with gauntlets, we see a much slower Fixel. He can't have the dominance that he did before. No scythe on his arsenal either to use. Fixel plays a very scary game with sweat beats for forced out, catches the landing, side sig once again. All right, we're coming back to the same song.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of coverage towards the right side there too, so want to pay attention to jump overs, want to pay attention to exactly how the edge guard recoveries are going to be, because it looks like Marker is just so keen on firing back at pretty much any opportunity. Here's the offstage, chase dodge aggressively towards it as well, but Marker's out of movement.
There we go, Fixel though, before Marker can catch the landing, or just barely doing so, gets the dare off of the scythe. Offstage again. Fixel has a game plan. His macro is to force Marker to never touch that ledge. Marker's not going to give him a choice, though. He says, I'm going to touch the ledge as much as I can. And then when that happens, grounded game is out. Force out something drastic like a weapon throw. Down sig does not work. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're hard reading at that point, but look at this coverage, right? It's Fixel just landing like roughly to the left or right, and then the signatures are just pointed in the right direction. You're finding stocks from it if you're Marker.
Now, here's the scary thing, Walt. If we see Marker land this next stock up against Fixel, that'll be grand finals point. There'll be one more game for Fixel to have a chance to bring it back for a bracket reset.
And the question presents itself, if we get there, of course, is if Fixel wants to swap off this Mordex, but don't want to count the chickens too soon. Do see a quick 3-piece from Marker to get a little bit more damage on the board. I mean, really anything in Mordex's kit will find a KO at this point, so it's just a matter of how much damage you can mitigate before that happens.
Yeah, but Fixel's scared to bring out a signature now. You want to catch that landing off a Marker, but it has not nearly been as consistent as you would like. Fixel loves to go for recoveries in the air. Marker's aware of that, wants to ensure a very little grounded game as possible. Tries to catch the landing with a slide charge off the platform side sig. That doesn't work, but deep red now. Deeper red than I've ever seen. Fixel and Marker both duking it out, but there's a stock lead from Marker's side. Recovery is out. Recovery once again. Marker tries to find a second uppercut. That doesn't work. Recovery from Fixel instead sends him down to 1. But Fixel, Walt, is on hardcore mode.
Yeah, and this is even unarmed right there, almost picked up the stock on the top blast zone. Fixel has to play this one real perfect at this point because, look, it's just going to be recovery. It's just going to be pretty much anything with the gauntlets. Next weapon is not gauntlets prime. Battle boots will find it, though, and it is tournament point, like you just said, Keg.
One more chance. Damage has closed up quite a bit more. A 40 damage difference between the two gauntlet wielders. I honestly think it might come down to which stage we go to next for potentially the final game of meta.
Yeah, and I mean, if we're looking at the weapon breakdown, I think you talked about the sight stuff in game number 2, I'm pretty sure. So we did see a slight lean in damage towards Scythe. Are we getting a completely different swap? Okay, the Val.
Okay, I'm with this. You retain the gauntlets. I think Gauntlet D-Sig is a fantastic option here. A good get-off-me tool against Marker. The passive that Fixel has off of the Val kit for anti-ledge guarding, where you could just scale the walls, I think will be instrumental for this game plan, where Fixel doesn't really have to change much of the macro.
Yeah, I feel like maybe part of the motivation, too, is like, I was saying before, the scythes really weren't closing out stocks that often, and you get a little bit more of a simplified kit with sword to just like get some easy pickup KOs that normally your gauntlets would be doing, right? So maybe you're just simplifying the game plan a little bit more, you're getting your guaranteed damage elsewhere, but look, it's the same beat for Marker, man, it don't matter.
Yeah, Fixel's got to get used to that sword again. Slightly slower speed, I believe, on the Val kit than the Mordex. You're chunkier, yes, but when you're up against battle boots, you need to have any sort of recovery speed, velocity options that you possibly can. Any science terms would help here for Fixel, but unfortunately, again, if you're not going to be using that signature kit, the question is, well, why swap then?
Yeah, I mean, I think the name of this, the real biggest theme of this set has come down to the quality of your gauntlets.
It's almost over, Walt.
Yeah,
There's one stock
3
left,
stocks
man.
to what? I mean, this is, I'm trying to speak in retrospect at this point because this is looking like Marker's tournament, right?
We're already in the analyst desk.
Like, the gauntlets did double damage in the previous game. The 29 damage that the boots did were that, like, 1 recovery at the end of game 4 to close it out for Marker. We do see 1 on the board for Fixel, so it's not completely out of the woods just yet, but look, Marker has an enormous runway to work with now.
I don't even think... Oh, hello.
Why are we there?
We're the real stars now, apparently, but no, it's Fixel and Marker once again still. Will there be an opportunity? We haven't seen a single signature from Fixel, at least not an impactful one just yet. There was a startup from Marker to bring out a Sig. That gets shut down by a Nair. Fixel finally getting these gauntlets going. Something's happening. Okay, Nair once more. GC sidelight. Hold on. Wait, this is wonderful. I love Fixel cycling here. But again, that would have been an opportunity for a Gauntlet D-Sig. Not being shown.
And this is what I mean with the sword. Like, I mean, maybe there's some rationale here for Fixel where it's like you get a little bit more guaranteed Sares, you get some more guaranteed recoveries that could result in KOs. This is going to be a stock.
Okay.
It's a 1-stock situation. So, like I said, it's a long runway, but you could still drive down it for a while if you're Fixel.
Okay, 144 on Fixel. Again, hardcore mode. This is not going to be easy. Did you see how far that Sare took Fixel?
Yeah. Recovery.
Oh, but the recovery is out. That is it. And ending for sure. The Mordex unfortunately did not work out well for Fixel. 2 seasons in a row, 2026, marked by Fixel coming just barely close on that silver medal, not finding the gold that he did all of last year.
Yeah, I mean, I started to believe in this Val pick though. Like, it looked really clean towards the end, right? I think it was just like too much went wrong too quick.